side, but it is rainy on my side. So it's a little bit overcast. But this, of course, is the weather that I like to cook because this is the weather for comfort food. But beside comfort food, there is something else that we have to celebrate. Tomorrow is our independence, and it is our 59th year of independence. So if you were born 59 years ago, this is a splendid year for you also because you are celebrating 59 years of independence of Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm in my red and black jacket, and well, the ceiling is white, so it's red, white, and black. So we are going to celebrate with some celebratory food. And every time we think about Mexican food, we always think about having family gatherings or the fireworks for independence or celebrating something where we come together and we just have a wonderful time or wonderful time. So this afternoon, we are going to do some Mexican stuff that we can use to celebrate. We're doing both an item that you can use for either appetizers or as a main course with some pretty little sides to go with those, as well as some dessert. So it's going to be an almost complete meal, a lot of fresh veggies and stuff in it. So we don't want to waste so much time. We are going to get started. We will be starting with the creme caramel because we want to just make that and put that in the oven. It's going to take a little bit of time to bake. So we want to get those things together. And then we will move on to the pico de gallo, which is more or less some veggies that we're cutting up together. Then the guacamole. My son loves guacamole. He is very crazy about, he likes avocados in guacamole. He doesn't necessarily want the avocado at the side of the food, but when you make it as the guacamole, he is very crazy about that. And then finally, we will make the beef to go in the tacos. So coming down to that, and let's get started. We don't want to waste any time. So one time I'm going to turn down the camera, but of course Naya is here. She is looking in at the chat, so she will be able to tell me what you're saying and what is going on in the chat. I also have some beautiful pictures for you too. So later on I'll show you those photos. So turning down. Arachne, you're passing today. Arachne, you're passing every day. So we're going to do the creme caramel, sorry, of flan. It's the same thing. It's just one way you're saying it in more or less French and the other one you're saying it in English. So we have to get 4 eggs. 4 eggs.
Miss, excuse me. What I did wrong, I'm not seeing you on the screen.
Oh, I can't help you with that. That's something on your side. So I don't know what it is. You have to probably scroll to your left or to your right, and then you'll be able to see me. Right?
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So for the creme caramel, we're going to use 4 eggs. 2 of them will be whole, and 2 of them we just want the yolk alone. So I'm going to crack 2 in my bowl. So these will be the 2 whole ones. Don't worry about it, Rajni. As you continue, you'll get everything perfect. Right? So I don't know if you want me to show you how I do my egg separation, but I would have cracked more to the top of the egg. You see that there? More to the top of the egg. And I'm going to pour out the white. Pouring out the white. Now, if some of your white gets into the mixer, that's no problem. Right? So most of the white is out. I'm just putting the yolk there. This is the last one. Again, cracking more to the top. Pouring out the white. I know some of you have some fancy stuff to separate your eggs, so you can go ahead and use the fancy stuff. Right, so just the yolk remaining there. So we have 2 yolks. and 2 whole eggs. Right, so we don't need the white of the eggs. We just need the 2 yolks and the 2 eggs. So we got that there. Right. Right, yeah, you can use your fingers. I just don't really like it to touch up my hands too much. Right, so we have the two eggs with the 2 yolks in the bowl. We are going to add the 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar. So I would have weighed it out, which is the same 75 grams. And we're putting it inside the eggs. And then take a whisk and whisk it. So it should get a little thicker and it should get a lighter yellow color. So we're trying to break it down a bit. So you can go ahead and light up your ovens because this is going to be finished in a few minutes. So you can light up your oven in the meantime. And we will add in the vanilla extract 1 time, 1 teaspoon. Well, then don't call it Italian, call it Sicilian. No, the extra egg white will not make it wouldn't really interfere with the mixture. So if you want to put in your 4 whole eggs, you can go right ahead and do that. It's just that it will be a richer mixture when you have the 2 eggs with the 2 yolks, right? So you can go ahead and be done. It's 6 tablespoons of sugar with the 2 eggs and the 2 yolks. Right. Right, remember what I tell you about spices? You spice it up your way. So if you want to put in nutmeg or cinnamon or any other spice, you can go right ahead. I'll just add in a little bit of nutmeg there. Right, and just continue to mix it up. Right, so that's about it there. So next we will put in the 2 cups of UHT milk. The recipe would have said 2% milk, which can be low-fat milk. But some of our full cream is really not too much more percentage of fat in any case. So you can use any one of them. Then we add in the milk slowly. Not evaporated milk, UHT milk, which is the one in the big box. Evaporated milk is not a 2% milk. That's probably about 30% or so. Actually, no, the fat content in evaporated milk is not different. The water content is different. Right, so we're mixing in our, yes, you can use brown sugar. Right? And you know what? We're done, you know. We're done with the custard part. Okay, Karina. Well, the nice thing about it is that you know exactly where things went a little bit off. So I encourage you, of course, to do it again, do it again. Right? So this is it for our custard part. So what we will do now is set the custard apart. Now, what is a custard? A custard is a mixture usually of eggs, sugar, and milk. Eggs, sugar, and milk. The milk is cold, cold as in room temperature, actually, I should say. It's not cold like fridge cold, but it is room temperature. You don't have to warm it up. In some recipes, they will tell you to warm it up and then they will warm up some and they will do a, I forgot the term for it. But with this one, we don't have to do it. We can just leave it room temperature, right? So we can put this aside. And now we are going to make the caramel. No custard powder. A custard is a mixture of sugar, milk, and eggs. That is a real custard. Custard powder is something totally different. It's like a quick kind of thing that you do. Right, so that's it here. So we're going to do the caramel now. So for the caramel, we need 3 tablespoons of water. And a 1/2 cup of sugar. So we're going with granulated sugar. Okay, so if you are using full cream milk, as I always tell you, you have to dilute it. So full cream, when you say full cream, are you talking about the UHT milk? Or you're talking about evaporated milk? Yeah, you can. I did put in the vanilla, and I did say to put in the vanilla. I did say that. The salt is just a pinch of salt, so you decide if you want to put it in. Right now, I have doubled up on mine, so that's why I use a whole cup of sugar with 6 tablespoons, 6 tablespoons of water. Yes, you can use it. Come on, guys, keep up with me because I just told you that you can use the full cream. I did say that. Come on, what's going on with us today? All right, so we put in the water with the sugar, and then we're going to add in the lemon juice, or if you have vinegar, you can use vinegar. You're using any type of acid, vinegar, lime juice, lemon juice. Right now, I have doubled my recipe, so this is why I'm going to use 2 teaspoons. And you're just going to shake it together. The vinegar helps to prevent crystallization. And it helps to break down the sugar faster, because what we're trying to do is create a caramel. We're making the caramel here. So in the pan, you will put 3 tablespoons of water with a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, lime juice, or if you have vinegar. It just has to be an acid, right? Then when you put it on the stove, do not stir it. Just leave it and let it come to a boil. Do not stir. So I don't expect anybody to ask me now if you have to stir. Do not stir. right? Because what happens when you put anything inside the pot, it will start to crystallize. And we don't want that happening at all. We want it to go into a caramel stage. So we're going to boil it until it turns, it's at a turn color. You'll see we get a little brown or a little amber. That is when we want to actually do something else with it, right? But just leave it like this. Let it boil. It will take a few minutes. And then it was, now don't worry about the acid inside of the mixture. You're not going to taste it. It's going to break down also, so you're not going to taste it. Right, so we're going to just leave it, let it boil. Yeah, it has a funny smell, but it's okay. It's the vinegar. Well, actually, I am using vinegar, so that is why mine has a funny smell. But if you're using the lime or the lemon juice, it shouldn't smell terrible. This one smells like boiling vinegar. So you can just imagine the kind of smell. No, we still have to put the caramel on the bottom of the pan. So the custard is still here. It's right in your shot. You know, you've seen it. It's right behind here. Oh, you're not seeing it. Look, you've seen it there. Yeah, it's still here. We haven't done anything else with it yet. What we're doing right now is making the caramel. So if you look at the photo that we have on the recipe, you'll see that brown part on the top. That is really the bottom. So we put in the caramel, then we pour in the cream over, and then we put in it in the oven. So I haven't done anything with it yet. Right? But I like a lot of the caramel, and when I flip it over, I love to have a lot of caramel. So that's why I made some extra caramel to put in mine. So we'll take a little while. Take a little while. We could probably sing something in the meantime. Sing a nice independent song. Creme brulee is, there is something different with creme brulee. Creme brulee is, I can't remember how to make creme brulee, but I think creme brulee, I don't think creme brulee is molded like this. I don't think it's that stiff, if I can recall. It might be a little more puddingy, but not like this. And then with the creme brulee, you don't do the caramel. You just use a torch to burn up the top, or use a broiler to caramelize the top. Right, so you see the bubbles will be small, and then they'll get very big. Still don't stir. Still don't need to stir, because just after this stage is when you'll see it getting brown. And after it starts to get brown, it's going to get dark very, very quickly. So you'll have to move a little quickly. So get your pan. Now I'm using an 8-inch baking pan, regular baking pan. You can use that. You can use a baking dish. You can use your ramekins. Whichever one you have, you use what you have. Right, so we want to keep our eyes on the pot, because it's going to start to turn brown in just a few minutes. Yes, you can get your ramekins at IM. Now I don't know what areas you all are, but IM has ramekins in different sizes. You can get them from, I think the cheapest one is probably either $4 or $5. Go straight up to about $10, $12, depending on the size you're looking at. You can get from Advanced Commercial. You can get from Fair and Square. Where again? Pardon me? Yes, you can use it. No, don't grease, don't grease. You're not greasing anything. You're leaving it as is. Oh boy, and I don't know. You're welcome. I don't know where in South you can get, but I can find out. I'm an East person. I live in Rima, so, but I will find out for you. Fair and Square is in Chaguanas. I don't know if that's too far from you. I know they have anything you can think of. Right, so what you'll realize is that it will start to boil. It will start to boil quickly, and then it will slow down a little bit as it thickens up a little bit. Simple Spaces in St. James. Wow, they're still around. Yeah, they have some really nice stuff. Oh yeah, you want to see the ramekin? No problem. No problem, no problem. Let me find. I have two kinds, but these are the more shallow ones. So this is one, and this is the other one. This one's a little deeper. Yeah, it's a piece of spice. Yeah. Right, and they come in different sizes. So these are like these are probably 4-ounce sizes, but you can get bigger ones. Yeah, right. So these are, you seen them? One is more flat and open. This one you can make tarts in them too. And this one is okay, mine is starting to turn brown also. Then you can start to just when you see me here. Yeah, you can just do this. Because you want it to get a little darker than this. But it can end up burning very, very easily. So be very, very careful. And this is extremely hot, guys. So please be careful. It would be nice if the kids are not in the kitchen with you when you're dealing with this, because you don't want them to startle you and something goes wrong. Right? But you see, it got really nice and thick. That is what you're looking for, really nice thick coating. Now, when you start to pour this in the bottom of the pan, it is going to seize up quickly, yeah? So you will have to move pretty fast. Oh, no, it's gonna burn quickly. So you have to be really careful. Now, mine is not, it's not getting brown as fast. Well, you know, me and this cooker move a little slower than the stove itself. But you realize that it slowed down a little bit. So be very careful. You don't want it to get too dark and burn. And it's going to continue cooking even though you raise it up from the stove. Right, so this is almost ready. And you're gonna start to smell it. It will start to smell like when you're browning sugar. Well, that's really what's happening here. Okay, so I am almost there. Almost there. Yeah, this is a non-stick pan. But even with your other pans, it's okay still. All right, so I think I have reached my, right, so look at this quickly. This is good enough. Now it's going to continue browning. So you have to get your pan quickly, pour it. And, now you see how hot it is? Pour it. And it's going to seize up, right? So when you pour, make sure you spread it to the bottom of the pan. Bottom of the pan. Now, as I told you see how it continues to get darker? So that's one of the things you have to be very careful about with it. Right, so that's it there. Right. So it's going to seize up. If you touch, like you see the little splatter it has on the side here, it's already hard. It's like a candy. And if your pans were cold, it will just seize immediately. People be very careful with this. I can't stress enough how careful you have to be with this. Right, so I'm going to give it just about a minute so it can seize up a little more. Well, I have a little extra in my pan actually, so that's why I have to wait a little bit. And then we will just pour on, we will pour the custard over that. In the meantime, get some hot water because we need to put the hot water into the container that we're going to bake in. Now, yes, you can place less caramel. Of course, this is yours. If you don't want as much caramel as myself, that's fine. I just like the caramel, right? So this is my pan I'm going to bake in. This is my pan I'm going to put my custard in. Ouch, and it's hot. And this is my pan that I'm going to rest my pan in. So this pan is going to go into here, right? Because what we're doing, we're creating a bain-marie, which is how we're going to put some water inside of here. Just see me, right? Well, the thing about using the cupcake pans is when you're ready to turn it over, all of them are going to fall out at the same time. So yes, you can use it, but just know that when you tilt over the whole pan, all 12 will be falling out at the same time. So you just have to make sure you seal it up really good. Right? So, so as I told you, the bain-marie, get some hot water to pour around your small pan that is in your bigger pan. Right? So put your hot water on now. Put on your kettle or put on your pot on the stove. You just need enough water to go halfway up the pan that your custard is going to be in. Right? And you'll realize as time continues, it's going to be moving less and less. For some of you, it probably has stopped moving because it has set. Right? So we're almost there. Almost there. Yeah, Pyrex is fine. That's fine because it's good for the oven. Yes, you can put it in a bigger Pyrex dish. Once the second pan can hold the first pan. Okay, so I realize you're not seeing my whole thing. So let me move around stuff here so that you can see my whole unit. See my whole unit now? Huh? Right, so let me see. Right, so you're seeing me. Right, so you can't see my whole pan. I don't know how to move around again. Right, good. So you kind of, all right, good. So you're seeing, right. So you see I have my pan, my flan is going in here, and this is the bigger pan. So they're both baking pans actually. And I'm going to fill here with the hot water, right? But I'm going to put the flan, I'm going to pour the cream on top of the caramel, right? So the creme on top of the caramel. So you see it has now set, it's not moving anymore. Right, that's excellent. So we actually made a candy on the bottom of the pan. Right. Right, so we're going to pour. Okay, right, so Naya told me I'm now centered properly. Right. So it's time to pour. So all the bubbles that was on top of the creme caramel, that should be gone. And we can strain it now to go inside of the pan. Right? So you can strain it into something else. Ooh, that caramel is smelling very caramelly. Right? So when you strain it, then you can pour it on top of your caramel. I just want to make sure that it's set good. Right. So that's it. Once it has set good, you're not going to see any caramel on the top. Right, and that's it there. So I'm just going to pour the hot water around here. Right? Pour the hot water on that. Sorry. Yeah, just in case it has any bits of the eggs, because you may not see it as it's little yellow and creamy. You may not see it, but there may be little bits of the eggs, because remember you would have beaten it with a whisk, so you're not guaranteed to have everything beaten up properly. So you just strain it, and then you put it in your pan. Right, so I'm just getting my water extremely hot. Now, the hotter your water in the bain-marie, is the faster your flan will be able to cook. So I hope your ovens are at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius. If you're using a pan like this, it's really going to be more than 30 minutes to bake. If you're using the ramekins will take about 30 minutes. And the pans like this may take about 50 to 60 minutes. Now, if you're baking with the ramekins and your 30 minutes has passed, do not take them out of the pan because they will fall apart. You actually have to chill it before you can take it out of the pan. It means that nobody should show me their plan until tomorrow, please God, or until late tonight. Right? Because if you message me and tell me, Miss, it fall apart because I take it, I will not even respond to you. So I'll say it again. Your flan has to be completely cooled before it can come out the pan. It means that you cannot take it out the pan before this class is finished. It will have to be sometime late tonight, 3-4 hours from now, when it is very cool. What I will suggest, you take it out of the oven, let it cool out of the oven for about an hour or two, and then put it in the fridge for about an hour or two. So that way, you know, it's chilled properly. It will hold together properly so that when you turn it out, it will just slip out the pan. Right? If that doesn't happen, then don't talk to me. Right? I'm just joking. But it has to be very cold to just slip out the pan easy. All right, so my water is ready. I am going to pour the water, the hot water, around the pan. And we only need it to go about halfway up. Right? So what this does, it helps it to cook evenly and not to break on the inside when it's cooking. Right? So I think that is, we'll pull this off because I still have to toast it over to the oven. Right, and then we're gonna take some foil and we cover the whole thing. Well, you actually cover the pan in the middle. You really need to cover the whole thing. Right, so we have the trusty foil. First time we're using foil. What's that? Yeah, Rajni, pass tomorrow because we won't be able to cut it today. So tomorrow evening, when you come with yours, we'll cut yours. Right, so try not to, you know, I should have actually put on the foil while I was talking. Right, so this is it here. And I'm going to put this in the oven for 50 minutes. Right, so this is how it should look. If you're using the ramekins, you would have had, like, let's say a 4 or 5 in here, and you just cover the whole unit instead of trying to cover each little one. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the oven and set the timer for 50 minutes. Right, so I have put it, oh, I forgot to set the timer. Right, so the timer is set for 55 minutes. So those of you who are finishing up, I'm going to give you about a minute or two to finish up. And then we will start with the pico de gallo. Right, so I'm showing you some photos from my garden. Because every week we talk about the garden, so I'm showing you some of my herbs. So this is my tarragon. I love tarragon with vegetables. And this one is my fine leaf thyme. Some people call it French thyme. And this is my little baby cabbage. I can't wait to make a little salad or something with it. Thank you, Antonia. Now this one is a lot of controversy with the name of this. Some people call it Spanish thyme, some call it French thyme, some people call it big leaf thyme, but this is from a family called Podina. So I just prefer to call it Podina. But I grew up with my mother calling it Spanish thyme. And this one is my mint spearmint. This is coming up so beautifully. Thank you, Stephanie. And this is my basil. Somebody asked something about basil. I am not sure. Yeah, send me a question with the basil again because I don't want to take down the picture yet. Yeah, this basil was, no, this is a lot of trouble when it comes to, thank you. A lot of pests like this, a lot of But does it burn with sunlight? Well, actually, this is planted in a spot where there's a lot of shade, so it doesn't get too much sun. I think it's thriving well, but I have to keep treating it for insects because there's a little leaf miner that loves it more than myself. Right, so that's it for the photos for now. Right, that's it for the photos for now. So let's move on to the pico de gallo. So I hope everybody is ready. If you're not ready, let me know. Natasha, girl. Natasha, if I tell you. That has been a real project for me over the years. That very small thyme that is called, I think it's called oregano. It's a real trouble for me also. I have tried to grow that several times, and several times it flopped. To the point that today I bought a new one. And I said I am going to try it again for about the 14th time. And this time it has fruit. So I am going to put it, I have a nice new unit that I purchased. It's like a staircase, but I won't show you that yet. I'll show you that on Thursday when I fix it up really nicely. And that I'm going to put all this thyme and some more of my seasoning there. All right, so let's get together for the pico de gallo. So for the pico de gallo, it's more fresh stuff. Yes, Wayne. Hey, glad to see you, or glad to hear you this afternoon. So I have my stuff for the pico de gallo. The main ingredient for this is tomatoes. So if you're like Naya and you love tomatoes, you will just eat tomatoes by itself, then this is the perfect thing for you. Pico de gallo. So I am going to cut up the stuff, and it's really easy to make. The hardest part about this is actually cutting up the veggies itself, well, the veggie fruit. So we can chat while we cut. Right, so it's just the tomatoes, red onions. I don't have jalapenos. We were supposed to get jalapeno for this. Yeah, I don't have jalapenos, but you can even add in whatever you like in here. So it's not that you have to stick with what you see, but you can add in whatever other fresh veggie that you want to put in there. You go right ahead. You know, as I always tell you, glam it up your way. It's your stuff. I know I am not going to remove the seeds. My whole tomato goes in because I buy this by the pound. Right, so I just have 3 tomatoes. And the thing about this is that you can either use it as a side dish for your tacos, or you can put it as part of your topping on your taco. So, oh, you show off. I need to grow jalapenos too. Not mixed to the beef, not mixed with the beef, but when you're putting together your tacos, you can then put it with it. And your, what are you calling that? Profiling it. Because it's really something that should be fresh. So you don't want to cook it. You want, when you have your tacos, you get that nice pop of freshness with your beef and your crunchiness. So easy does it. Right. So we're dicing up or cubing up the tomatoes, well, the tomatoes and the onion, the red onion. And what we're looking at when we're making this, we're looking at the colors also. So you have the red, you have the purple, you have some green. Yellow will also go great. So if you have maybe some yellow sweet peppers, that will go in fine also. Yeah, because it's like gradually it's like a salsa. So you can have it with anything. You can put it at the side of your this will go really nice with some rice, with curry chicken and dal. That will be a nice additive too. A nice side dish, sorry. Okay, so I do need more. Right, so whenever you're making a pico de gallo, you want to look at the colors. Yeah, you can use sweet peppers also. The recipe would say a quarter cup of shad benny. That's a lot of shad benny, but you use how much shad benny you can handle, because this is going to bring a little flavor and a little sharpness to it also. So right, so I'm just cutting it finely. My shadow benny, well, some people say bandania, shadow benny, culantro. Same thing, different name. Right, so I think I have some yellow peppers. I do have a couple yellow. So I'm going to put a yellow bell pepper, just for the sake of the color, really, more the color than anything else. Right, so just to put in a little yellow color. Right, so we get some yellow. So we have yellow, we have purple, we have red, and we have green. So that looks festive. We got some festive colors in here. I can see that being picked out by my son a little bit later. But in terms of presentation, it looks good. Right, so by now you should have your tomatoes. If you're using your jalapeno, your red onion, your shad benny. Right, so tell me if you're not ready yet, because I'll hold up for you. Just send me an SOS. Right, so you see the beautiful colors there. That's no problem. I think I have a little bit too much onions in here. It's got a lot of onions. So I think I'll pick out some of this onion to go in the guacamole. Right, so this is where we are so far, but we still have to put in some spices. And the spices we have for this is a pinch of cumin, which is jeera, so a pinch of jeera powder, and a pinch of oregano. It's not much. That's that. I know some of you using 2 pinches, I know. But you don't need to put a lot of it, because we're gonna have some spices in the beef itself also. Yes, so Naya asked me if cumin is jeera. Yes, cumin. Oh, somebody, and so was Naya asking me. Yes, cumin is jeera. You made one yesterday, the jeera? Just kidding, Rajni. Yeah, pico de gallo is really nice freshness, a burst of freshness with your food. It's almost like if you're making a chow with tomatoes. And it's about the same thing as a salsa. The difference, I think, sometimes with the salsa is that the salsa it wouldn't be so much as chunky as this. It may be sometimes kind of like if it's blended a little bit. So that's more or less what you have here. And you can put in, oh, we have to put in the lime. I don't remember lime or the lemon, whichever one you have. I have a lemon, so I'm going to put some lemon juice. Right. Right. And that's it there. Pico de gallo. And I did put in the salt. I don't want any pepper. So you can taste it. You can taste it and see how it tastes. Right? So that's our pico de gallo there. All right, so this is what it looks. Oh my God, sorry. This is what it looks like. Nice fresh pieces of tomato that Naya loves. So that's it there for the pico de gallo for now. So we just set that aside and let's start with our guacamole. You don't have to use the 3 avocados. You can use 1 or 2. The only thing with these with these avocados is that we don't know what they are like on the inside. So I am eager to cut it and see because I tried to get some very ripe ones. I'm eager to see if it's ready. They should be ripe. Okay, so this can pass. This can pass. This can pass. It's a little over ripe. We can live with that. Right, we're just taking a spoon and scooping it out. It has a little spot. Right? Mine has a little spot that is overripe. But as I told you, my son really loves this. Right, so I'm going to open my second one. Ah, it's actually good. I made a good selection. Do you know that I had to purchase this by the pound? I paid $15 a pound. So that was so big country because we don't really buy these things by the pound. We usually buy them by the units. But they told me $15 a pound, and I thought, well, you know what? It wouldn't change the price that much. So I ended up getting 3 for $44, which I didn't think was too bad. Right, so we're going to break it down. We're going to mash it up. Do we have a potato masher? You can use your potato masher. I'm going to mash it up. And I will suggest that you put in your lemon or lime juice 1 time, because we don't want it to oxidize. You know what happens when it oxidizes? Why that person had to say that? $10 for one in a Rima? Why you had to say that now? Malisha, why you had to say that now? After I bougie buy mine, I bought mine like a bougie. Oh my God, it's just getting worse. Yeah, what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know anymore. I bought bougie avocados, okay? My avocados are upper class. So, and how much she paid? Ah, you see? You see why people, I don't want to hear. Don't read anything else to me because it gets worse. Hannah coming by you. All right. So I mixed mine with the lemon juice one time so that it would not oxidize. Because when that happens, it turns brown. So in order to prevent that, I put in the lemon juice one time. So to this, we are going to add half cup of diced onion. And I'm going to take out some of the onion from in my pico de gallo because I think that I used too much. Right now, you can adjust the amount of onion you're going to use because it's all up to your taste. Some people don't like the taste of onions. They think it's too strong. That's fine. As I tell you, or adjust this stuff to suit you. See how much onions I'm taking out from mine? It was just too oniony. I can actually make up the half cup here. Right, so I have my more or less half cup here. So I'm going to just cut it up a little smaller. And red onions are very crunchy. It's a little stiffer than the white onions or yellow onions. Yes, you can use the vinegar in place. You can use the vinegar in place. That's not a problem. Again, it's just, let me just say it's just. One of the reasons you're using that acid is to prevent the oxidation. So yes, you can go ahead and use the vinegar. In a lot of recipes, you can replace lemon and lime juice with vinegar because if you're using it for the acidic properties, then it's interchangeable. If you're using it for taste, well then, no, I don't think it's interchangeable there. So this also will bring a little spiciness to your tacos. Right, so I'm putting this in here. Right, and then what we need again, cilantro or shadow benny. I didn't use all my shadow benny. Where's my shadow benny? Oh, here it is. Right, so I'm going to put a little bit of shadow benny in there too. Now you can leave out the shadow benny in this one because we already have shadow benny in the pico de gallo. But depending on how you're going to use it, because you might very well end up using your pico de gallo tomorrow. So up to you. Up to you. Nothing is cast in stone when it comes to food. You can quote me on that one. Nothing is cast in stone. Right, and then we have tomato. So I'm just going to use one tomato. And it would have said Roma tomatoes because they are small tomatoes. Yeah, actually, I use vinegar in baking a lot. In a lot of stuff, I use vinegar. So I always have to have vinegar at home, especially when I'm doing eggless baking. I use a lot of vinegar. So yeah, it's really handy. And some people don't know how to use it, but if you're using vinegar for the acidic properties, well, boy, the amount of things you can do. For example, look how we used it to make the caramel. Some people don't even know that. You probably were wondering, well, what place vinegar has there? And it's again, it's a chemical reaction that you're looking for. Because what you realize when you made your caramel, it didn't crystallize. And if you thought you were going to taste it, you won't taste it. It's gonna just break down and disappear, more or less. Right, so I don't need the next part of my onion. I am going to put, okay, so that. Garlic. I have my little baby garlic here. Right, so I can move this because I'm finished with cutting. I can pull this stuff here. So now you see the stuff I have here. I don't need this anymore. And I'm going to grate in my little bit of garlic. It should be 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. So this will mimic the taste of like a chow. So it's like an avocado chow. And if you don't like it mash up, as we say, if you don't like it mash up like this, then you can just cut it into little dices. And the last thing we're putting in is the cayenne pepper. We have the cayenne pepper here. You put as much cayenne pepper as you will like. It's about how much spice you can handle. I can handle a pinch right now. Right? Salt. I'm going in with about a 1/4 teaspoon. And that's it. You don't have to put in a whole teaspoon. Right? Or salt and pepper is always about taste. What is your taste when it comes to that? So let's recap to make sure we have everything. We have the avocados. We have the juice of the lime or lemon. We have the onion. We have the cilantro or the shadobeni. Well, this is not cilantro, but we use shadobeni. We have the tomatoes. We have the garlic. We have the cayenne pepper. And we just put in a little bit of salt. So we're good to go. So we just mix it up. Right? Doesn't have a very pleasant look, but it does taste good. Right? So we're going to use this. Now, when you mash it up like this, it doesn't look too pretty. If you use it as small dices, yeah, it will look really nice. But we're really using this sort of like a dressing for our tacos. So it's like a cream dressing, like how you make a mayo-based dressing. So this is our guacamole dressing. So we have a taster behind the screen. What does our taster say? Put it in the chat, taster. Put it in the chat how it tastes. So our taster is going to say how mine tastes. You'll see it coming up in the chat. Taster taking a while to type, boy. Right, so now that we finished this, we are going to get ready to do the best part of it, which is the beef. Right, so tell me where you're at. You need me to hold up a little bit? I can do that for you. So we have the two of them, pico de gallo and the guacamole. I think this taster is writing a sentence. Oh, you sent it? I didn't see. What is it you said? What you said? I didn't see. I didn't see what my taster said. Okay. All right. So I now see. Okay, but I'll go with a little more salt too. Right, and then the thing about guacamole too is that it needs to rest a little bit so that the flavors can develop. So I'm going to mix this with my little extra salt. What I like about this is that it's so different from our tradition. That when you put this on your taco, it's so different from having your garlic sauce and ketchup and mustard. You have something totally different. So that's it there. No mayo. We're having some healthy fat here. Right, so we're going to put these two aside in the fridge for the while. And we are going to get our beef ready for takeoff. So get your beef. Get your, okay, let me tell you what you have to get. Get your minced beef. Get your chili powder, your cumin, salt. So you can do what I did. I would have put all my spices together. Right, so everything is in one. So you can do that so that when we're ready to put it in the pan, everything is already there. We don't have to be searching for this and searching for that. Just put everything in one container. And we're good to go. And no, you didn't have to season your beef before. I know that probably was some of your concern. No, you didn't have to season your beef from before because it's going to get seasoned in the pan. I know you're accustomed to your green seasoning, you know. But once we're doing international cuisine, we have to get away from that stereotype. Oh my gosh, you were supposed to go in with the chili little bit by little bit. Because chili is hot. Right, so we are going to go in. Sorry, we're gonna do the beef. Let me get my stuff on the side. And did you get your taco shells? I got 12 of these little ones for $28. I've actually never tried to make them, but I know somebody in the class said that they normally make theirs. It's just easier for me to purchase it right now because I have so many things to do. Right, so I'm coming with my pot. Right, so we got a hot pot here. Well, we got a pot heating up here. We have a little spoon here. Right. So we're going to go in with some oil. I know some of you probably don't like this way of cooking your beef, where you put in the beef first and then you put in the spices in it. But just try it, just try it. The tradition for us is to put in all the seasoning, the onion, the garlic, and pimentos and stuff, and then we put in the beef, the seasoned beef. But guess what? We're doing it a different way. If we do it like that all the time, everything will taste the same. No, okay. Normally we do not wash minced beef because it's kind of difficult to wash. When you wash it, you're actually washing out everything. You're probably just going to remain with a couple strands of muscle. So no, you don't normally wash minced beef because of the temperature it's going to cook at, and because you're going to cook it straight through. You don't have to worry about any pathogens in there because the high heat is going to kill them in any case if there were any pathogens in there. So don't worry too much about that. Okay. So we're going to put in the beef first. As soon as the skillet is high, heat it up enough. In this one, we have all the spices that we have there. So that is the chili powder, cumin, salt. No, I don't have the salt. I have the oregano, the garlic, black pepper. Yeah, that's what I have in here. Right, and I think I put in some basil or something else in here. some other green stuff I would have put in there also. And some chili flakes also. That's what I have in mind. Right, so we're going to go in with the beef. With the beef. Right, don't worry about it if you don't have your green seasoning. You're not going to die. You're just learning to do things differently. Remember, that's why we came here. We want to learn to do things differently. Yeah. Right, so we're gonna start. So this is what we call browning the meat. We're gonna brown it sort of like searing. Right? And I'm going to go in with my seasonings one time. That is a lemon, eh? That is a lemon. What's the question? I'm not understanding the question, Natasha. Your taco has seasoning. Oh, you mean you have a special taco seasoning? Well, yeah, you can add it at this point. If it's a dry seasoning, yes, you can add it here. Right? If you want to add in your stuff like adobo or Maggi or anything else like that, you can go ahead and add it here also. Yes, of course, you can use minced chicken. You can use minced chicken, minced lamb, anything like that. I actually don't remember. I have some adobo. So I'll use a little bit of adobo, which is really some black pepper and garlic and stuff too. Right, and it smells wonderful. It smells wonderful. Right, so once you pass this stage, because you know my stuff is gonna crawl a little bit. So once you pass the stage and your stuff is brown, you can go ahead and put in your tomato sauce and your water. Right, so it smells good. Nice, lovely smell. And we're putting in tomato sauce and not tomato paste and not tomato ketchup. Tomato sauce. That will be what we use to make the tomato sauce to go with the meatballs. That is the one we're using. If you're using shrimp, it's going to cook for a shorter period. So you may have to put in, when you put in your shrimp in the pan, probably about 30 seconds after, you add in your liquid. It's going to be less liquid too. because shrimp is going to cook in like about 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the size. Right, so here I have my tomato sauce and the water mixed together. Right, it's going to have a little saltiness to it. You let that cook out a little bit. Now this tomato sauce may get it a little bit acidic. So taste it. If you don't like so much acid, you can add in a little bit of brown sugar, just a little tips, so that it wouldn't be so much strong on the acid. Wow, mine is spicy. So I'm going to go in with the salt one time. Right, and the salt is 3/4 teaspoon of salt. But of course, the salt will be according to your taste. You use more, well, actually use less. I can't encourage you to use more salt. Right, so here we go. Right, so just give it about a minute or so to cook off. Right. Right, so you see it nice and bubbly, cooking out really beautifully. So you can adjust your salt, but I don't think the spice needs to adjust because it's kind of spicy. But you can adjust the salt a little bit if you want. Right, but this is almost done here. Nice and quick, right? But wait now, how come we didn't see anything from Wayne yet? When what going on? What going on? The tomato sauce would be a 1/2 cup and a 1/4 cup of water. I use a little extra because I use a little extra beef. But a 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, 1/4 cup of water. Right? Imagine we didn't do this with ketchup. You know how Trini love ketchup in mincemeat. We love ketchup and mincemeat, you know. No ketchup today. And no green seasoning. Right? So this is about it here. Right? So you should be finished by now. Most of us should be finished by now. So let me know how things are going. Because this doesn't take long to cook at all. But it's smelling really good. It's spicy. So let me know if you are ready to put your tacos together, or you want me to wait up a little bit. Because I also have my, guess what? My Mexican 4 cheeses. Look at that. Yeah, I always have these in the freezer. We use these kind of cheeses for so many different things. Right, good. So you're finished. Good. Let me know, rest of you, you're ready? Ready for assembly line? Actually, tell me if you're not ready yet. So I take it that everybody's ready. So we have to get back our guacamole and our pico de gallo. Right, let me just move some of this out of the way. Right, so we're getting ready to put things together. Right. Right, so I'm going to put this in a bowl on the side here. Okay, so let me just move this pot here. Right, so we have the meat here. Somebody showing me something? Who's that, Wayne? Ah, beautiful. I almost saw his potato salad. It looks great, Wayne. Right, so I need to get my pico de gallo and my guacamole. Wow, Debian. Oh, Debian, you look good. Beautiful. I like the nachos. Beautiful addition. All right, so I'm going to get my tacos and I'm going to put together the tacos. Oh, somebody's showing a Corona. I want to see the one with the Corona. What? Wow, Fawn. Yeah, Fawn. Use the soft tacos. You look great. I think everybody is going to have a problem tomorrow, please God, because your family is going to ask you to make this again for them. Yes, Wayne, it looks great. Okay, so I'm trying to take out mine from the pack without breaking them. Thank you, Naya. Ah, yes, it looks great, Wayne. The nice thing about tacos is that you can use whatever toppings you want. I have watercress, greens. My gosh, imagine I'm telling Naya I have watercress in the fridge. And she's asking me, what was that? Oh my God, these young people. Yeah, it's greens. Yeah, that's called watercress. All right, so I decided not to go with any lettuce today. Now the hardest part of this is to get it to stand up. So we're gonna start an assembly line here. Assembly line, assembly line. Try and prop them up. Right, so this is my assembly line. Yes, they do, they do. Right, so this is my assembly line here. I'm gonna try to keep it as sturdy as I can. So we start with some beef first. Now the only thing with this beef is that it's a little wet and it's a little hot. We still use some. So we go in with the beef first on the bottom. I'm gonna try to take out as much moisture as I can. You seeing it? And you have to be so careful with these shells because these shells will crack so easily. Right. Right. All right, so that's it. My last one here has cracked. No, no, no. The soft ones you can warm up. The hard ones you don't have to. You can just have them just like that. No, Naya, you have to wait. Okay, so I'm going in with my greens one time. Right, you just have to be very careful with anything that has moisture because it can cause your shells to break apart. Ah, nice. Yes, Andrani, that is a really good idea also. The wraps. Right, so I'm going to put in the pico de gallo. Pico de gallo first. Oops. Are we trying to get in all the colors? Oh my God. Right. And then I'm going to put in my guacamole. Just a little bit there. And of course, we top it off with some cheese, with some Mexican cheese. Gonna put some cheese on it. Just a little bit of cheese. And that's it right there. That's it right there. We're done. And it looks yum yum. Yeah, so let me just put it on a plate. I have to get another ramekin to prop it up. I don't have it. My photographer is telling me to hold up. I'll put it on a plate. Right, so I'll move this one. This one was broken, so that one will move. No, 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 I didn't bake the shells. Right, so I'm gonna. Mhm. Oh, beautiful, Wayne. My plan has just a few minutes again. I'm just going to create a little display for you. That's a little bit. Right, so I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this one. And break this one here. Right, so you see there. Nice. No. You let the flan cool first. So when you take it out of the oven, let it cool for about an hour or two, and then you put it in the fridge. You can't put it in the fridge hot. It has to be cooled. Right? But yes, you can bake them if you want. You can bake your shells a little bit, just to crisp it up a little bit, harden it up a little bit more. Or you can just have them from the pack. It'll be like a tortilla chip. Actually, that's exactly what it is. A tortilla, a bigger tortilla. Right? So I hope that everybody was on board and everybody got through this afternoon easily. So let me know, talk to me. I think I still have one. Yeah, I have some more minutes with my flan, so I can't take it out yet. But you can let me know how things are with you. Right? So there we have it. Our independence meal. Yeah. Our independence meal for tomorrow. So some of you are going to do this over tomorrow again. Yeah, you'll do this tomorrow again. Somebody's showing me who's that. Wow, Marsha, that looks awesome. Awesome. Nice. So I had a great afternoon preparing some tacos with you. No, it's supposed to be tacos. Tacos. You can uncover the flan after it's done. So once it's set, you know it's finished. Right? So let's chat a little bit. So tell me, how was your afternoon? How are things coming along with you? Getting through, not getting through? If you're not getting through, then I'll come by you and help you. So you can talk to me now. Nobody talking to me? Okay, well, in that case, then we can talk about next class. Your microphones are open so you all can speak, or we can talk about next class. So let's talk about next class. You see, when it comes to the modules, I'm a little bit confused also. So Ms. George will have to tell us which module we are at and how many more we have to go. But we will let her chat with us a little bit after. Nice, Natasha. You look great. Some of you went out and got those nachos, boy. Nice. Right. So we go next Thursday, we are going to have some guacamole looks really good. We are going to have some Mediterranean food. which is kind of a little bit of Arab and some other countries on that side, Arabia, sorry, and some other countries on that side. And you know, when the fan is finished, once the time has passed and it is set, meaning that it's not watery and moving all over the place. So it will set, it may jiggle a little bit, then you know that it's ready, right? But depending on the size of the pan, after the 55 to 60 minutes, it should be ready. Right, your mics are open, huh? So we are going to do next, this Thursday, shouldn't say next Thursday, this Thursday, the Mediterranean food, which is the chicken kebabs, Greek roasted potatoes, and a lime corn salad. So what I want you to do for me before class, please listen, please listen, please listen, because I do not want you to message me and ask me what we're doing today on Thursday. Message me and ask me what we're doing today and what we have to prepare. There's a reason why I go through this at the end of the class so that you will know what you have to do for the following class. So please listen. So for the next class, when it comes to the chicken kebabs, if you do not have thighs or you don't like thighs, you don't want to use thighs, you can use chicken breast. But the thighs have a little more fat than the chicken breast. So it gives a little more flavor and it may give you a little more color, maybe a little bit, not too much. The breast is going to dry out a little bit, and because it doesn't have that fat on the inside, it is going to be a little dry, right? So it's up to you. It's up to your preference, right? So Ms. George said the recipes are in the chat. So what I want you to do is create the marinade and put your chicken to marinate, right? You can do it on the same day, a couple hours before class or the morning, and put it in the fridge, right? So you get your chicken thighs or your chicken breast, you cut it up, and you put your yogurt, your cumin, chili flake, the lemon juice, paprika, cinnamon powder, and the garlic with a little bit of salt and pepper. Put that to marinate and leave it. You can do it the night before, you can do it in the morning, you can do it a few hours before class. Other than that, for the potatoes, I don't think you really need to do anything for the potatoes. Not necessarily. If you have the Yukon Gold, now the Yukon Gold potatoes are potatoes that, let me see if I can let me send a picture of it to Naya so that she can upload it. But it's what we call waxy potatoes. So they don't break down too much. I don't know why I'm not getting Naya. Right, they're not going to break down fast. They are going to hold up well. So let me see if I can get them. Santanaya. Where is that picture? Right. So Naya, I'm sending you. No, there's no substitute for potatoes in this recipe. So Naya, put up this photo, just some. Put it there. Right. So Naya's gonna put it up in a few seconds so you'll know which one is the Yukon Gold potato. It's not, now you realize you may have two kinds of potatoes on the market. There's one that breaks up quite easily, very starchy, we call those starchy potatoes. And then you have those like the Yukon Gold, which is waxy. So it can hold up well when you're making things like potato salad. And then the other one, the starchy ones, you want to use that when you're making more mashed potatoes because they break down easily. So she's going to put up the picture of the Yukon Gold potato. You buy that, or you can get the baby red potatoes, either one. Now the Yukon Gold potato is really an Irish potato, but it's just one type of the Irish potato. So you can get that. The picture is coming up sometime. Right, so this is the Yukon Gold potato. You see the skin is a little bit thin. It's usually the cleaner looking potatoes. So you get that one. and you just wash them and you keep them. You can use them with the skin on. You don't have to peel them. Right? So you get that. And you're going to get some marjoram also. I think that's the only new thing, and some dried basil and stuff. Right? So that's the only thing you really need to prep. So just wash your potatoes and to marinate your chicken. Other than that, everything else we can prep while we're in class. And we're good to go. So any questions before we leave?
Hi, present. Good afternoon, Miss. One quick question. In terms of the chicken kebabs, I don't have a grill. Is there another way that I could have it made or something else I could use in order to do it?
I don't
Is
have
it
a
usually
grill
done on a
either.
grill? So how we making the kebab? We doing the chicken first and then putting it on the skewers, or how? Or I could
No,
just wait
but
and
what
see.
we can do, you can use your oven, because I'm doing mine in the oven.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I don't have a grill either that I can use for that. I wouldn't go through all of that. What we
Because
can
I
do,
tried to research it and I was like, it's basically done on a grill now. So I was wondering.
yeah, it's usually done on a grill. You're correct, but what we can do is put it in the oven. If you have anything that is like a grill, nice, hand me that. Like
the rack where you put the stuff to cool on, could use that as well.
Correct. That's what I was now going to show you. If you have a rack like this, you can put it over a pan in the oven, and you use that as your grill.
Okay,
Better
no
yet,
problem.
if you have a broiler, put it in the oven, let it bake first, and then turn on the broiler to finish it off. And
okay, thanks, ma.
Right, so you don't necessarily have to have a grill. You can create a grill. Right, anything else? Yes, you can use whichever red potatoes you have, because you can cut them in quarters. At this point, don't expense yourself. If you already have potatoes, use what you have. I'm not saying that you have to get the Yukon Gold, but if you're going to purchase, then that's what I want you to look for.
Miss, what's the marjoram?
Beautiful, Samantha. Okay, let me send a photo of the marjoram. You're talking about the fresh marjoram, right? Because you can actually buy that in a pack as a dried seasoning. But I'm supposed to have a picture of marjoram also that I can send to Nair. Right, so this is the marjoram. So now I will put up a picture of what. Now, there is a big thing about what is marjoram. The marjoram I would like you to get is this one that Naya is going to put up, which is more or less what we call fine thyme. So let us not debate about that, because they're all from the same family and the names get crisscrossed. So the better thing to do is to learn the scientific name for what you have to get, because it's really when things cross the seas into the Caribbean, the names get thrown all about the place. So this will be from the marjoram family. There's also something that looks like the big leaf thyme, and that is called marjoram too, because it is a type of marjoram. So this picture that Naya is going to put up here, this is the marjoram that I want you to get, the smaller one. Right? Or you can just buy the dried marjoram. Right? Any other question? No question? Okay, well then I will be bidding you farewell. You all can talk to Miss George. Miss George, if you can enlighten us on which module we have reached and how many more classes like this we supposed to have, I will also appreciate that, because I'm also confused a little bit. So I now turn over to Miss George to continue answering questions, and you all know how to reach me if you need me. So I wish you a happy independence tomorrow, please God. Please enjoy the day with some food that you cook for yourself. Try something that we did in class and make everybody happy. All right, so you have a wonderful evening, guys.
Thank you, Chef Labelle. Let me just stop the recording.